you doing, Brady?
Been better, man.
Yeah. I know it's a disappointing loss to take. You know, you could almost won this game, but what positives can you take from the game going forward for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I'll start off by giving credit to SMU. They obviously did enough to win, but we should have definitely won that game. But positives are start with defense. I mean, obviously not the start they wanted, but what a hell of a job responding and holding their offense to for the remainder of that game. I've got to do a better job at capitalizing, helping this offense take advantage of those chances they give us, and obviously finishing the game off there at the end. The overall team response, not once was anyone down or now upset, yes, because we weren't playing the brand of football we do. But, I mean, you saw the way we fought back, the heart that we showed, the resiliency, and just too much, mistakes, and ultimately fell short. But, we just got to get better, and it starts, earlier in the week.
Bryce?
Someone asking a question, or
Jake Bryce?
Jake, I don't think we can't hear you. All right, we'll move on to Steven Johnson.
Okay.
All right, Brady, from just talking to you over these last few months, you strike me as a very competitive guy. Just how do you, I guess, not get too down on yourselves when you have the couple of turnovers that you had today?
Oh, yeah. Man, I've had a lot worse games, and I've been in a good mood regardless. Obviously the number one key for offense is to own the football, and we didn't, do that, and that falls on me because I'm the leader of this offense. To break it down kind of more in detail, the first one, got some pressure, and it was I don't know if they were in man or if they were in like a 3-stick look, but basically a one-on-one with Calvin. And so I've taken that shot multiple times before, and it's just unfortunately their feet got caught up and he went down. So that's pretty easy. Second one was bad. I didn't see him, and so I threw it the way I did, whereas if I see him, I'd probably try to throw it over his head. And then at the end, got to hold on to the ball no matter what. Had 2 hands on it, but can't cough it up.
Evan Barnes.
Brady, you kind of hinted at this earlier, but can you take us through when you guys were down 24-3, what was the mood like on the sideline to trying to keep you guys focused and not let this get past you? Because it's been a while since you guys have been in a deficit like this.
Yeah, I was smiling, man. I was like, hell yeah, let's obviously it's not what we want, but like in life, when stuff comes easy, it's not always as satisfying. Like that's what you want right there. You want to have the ball in your hands tied 27-27, getting to go win the game. You want, you don't want to, but if adversity strikes, like we were ready for it. Obviously we want to play better and we don't want to get in that hole, but you saw how the team responded, and I think on the sideline, everyone, heads were clear. No one was pouting or upset. Like we were just very focused and knew what we had to clean up, what we needed to do to get back in the game like we did. And then obviously we just got to, stick the axe in them and win the game next time.
Raven Moore.
All right, Brady. So you guys are coming off a 3-week layoff, and then you have a bye week before you guys take on UCF. So do you kind of wish that you guys did have a game next weekend so you can get the taste out of your mouths about this game, or are you okay with having another week to prepare?
No, I think, a little bit of both. I'll give you devil's advocate. I'm boring to interview, but with the week off, you can obviously recover and get, if any guys are a little nicked up, which I don't think we are, but you get guys back. But the other side is, in any sports, when you lose or you lose to your older brother or something, you always want to get them back right away. You lose in Madden, you want a rematch. You lose a football game, we want to go next week and get that taste out of our mouth, show what we're about. So, we're definitely going to be jonesing to get back on the field because, you know, we displayed a brand of football that we're not proud of, and that's not who we truly are. So, but it is what it is. You gotta learn how to handle those things. And so we better be focused like we've never been before and use, you know, every day as an advantage to get ahead for the UCF game and be ready to play them.
Christian Fowler, last question.
Brady, you guys had an early season loss against Temple last year as well, and then went on a run after that, won the rest of the games. Does this game feel similar in any way, kind of the motivation you feel like will be drawn from it in any way like that?
Yeah, I don't think it was nearly as bad, but, you know, this wasn't, like I said, this wasn't good. I think how our team handles adversity and the way we respond is like you saw it last year and you saw it today. And, you know, what's funny is in both games, like there's multiple chances to win the football game. And I think, you know, with negatives, there's positives and positives. There's negatives that, you know, the negatives we lost. The positive is we played really crappy and still should have won the game. So if we play a clean ball game and do what we need to do, we should be rolling. So I guess it kind of seems so. But it's a different year. It's a different situation. We got to handle it and get ready to bounce back.
All right, so obviously it wasn't the start you guys wanted on defense. What kind of changed for y'all kind of after that first quarter where you guys were able to just kind of settle them down and kind of hold them just 6 points?
Yeah, we just talked as a defense, you know, not looking at the scoreboard, just keep playing. You know, obviously we didn't want the start that we had, but after the second quarter we picked it up, and it's a testimony to us because, you know, there's a high power offense, them scoring at least 56 points a game and us holding them to 30 points is a big testament for us. But, you know, as a defense, we don't want slow starts. So I guess we were trying to get a feel for the game, and it kind of cost us to go down at least 3-4 scores. So that's, as a defense, we just wanted to keep playing, not look at the scoreboard, and just play Memphis football.
Evan Barnes?
Quindell, in that second half, the defense really just kind of locked in, and you guys made a lot of plays. Was there a greater motivation after the way the first half went, where you guys were just giving it the big plays, or was there just a matter of we need to just settle down and focus and let this thing, you know, get back under control?
Yeah, it was just a matter of time of us just being used to the game, just getting a feel for the game. You know, as you can see, after the second quarter, we started. I said we was charging up. After the second quarter, we was charging up because it started giving us life after we got that one stop. You know, we started being more aggressive, swimming to the ball more, just being us after turning it up at the second quarter. So just us as a defense, we just wanted to continue to do what we do, you know. And as I said, they're a great offense, and we just wanted to stop everything they were doing. They weren't really doing anything spectacular. We were just hurting ourselves at that point. So we just wanted to settle down, just be us, and continue to play.
Terry Davis?
Hey, Quindell, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey, man, you guys forced some good turnovers, and you came so close to getting a couple of more. What were they doing, and what do you guys see that get y'all close to getting those turnovers, man?
We just wanted to swarm to the ball, just play the call, and, you know, just read what they're doing. So we knew coming in this week that they weren't really good with the ball. So our big emphasis was hitting the ball, getting turnovers, because we knew at one point it'd change the game. So us getting that turnover before half was big for us, and getting it in the fourth quarter. Or was it the fourth or third? Was it third? The fourth? That was big for us as well. So we had a big emphasis to trying to get the ball out and just reading what they give us and just playing ball.
Steven Johnson?
Just for you, their receiver, I think he was number 8, or Reggie Robertson. Just how good was he, and I guess why was he just so hard for you guys to kind of contain early on?
He was explosive. I say as a player, he's explosive. He can make plays. He's one of those guys that you really have to watch for. But like I said earlier, it wasn't nothing they were doing spectacular. It was just us trying to settle into the game. So it made it seem like he was elusive and doing all these great things. But as a player, truth be told, he's a great player. But we just had to contain him and do what we do. So it made it look like he was all over the place. But it was just us at the end of the day, just using fundamentals and just trying to just be in Memphis. That's all.
Evan Barnes?
Quindell, given everything that's happened over the last month or so, really, since you guys have seen the field, could you be pleased with how close you guys came to winning and how well you guys played? Or were there things where, again, no excuses, but noticing that, okay, had to fight through a little bit more fatigue and everything to kind of just, keep things going a little bit?
Yeah, I would say at some point, not really playing, you can sense us being winded at some point. But, it's adversity we have to fight through as a defense, not playing for, 3 weeks. And just trying to continue to get a feel for the speed.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Say,
sorry. No.
Just trying to get game ready. Having condition. We don't condition a lot during practice, but just trying to get that conditioning in practice so it can translate to the game. So that's it.
And can you take the positive away that, in spite of all that, you guys were right there in this game and that kind of off week?
Yeah, just like I said, they are a high power offense scoring at least 56 points a game, and for us to hold them to 30, is a big testament for us. We still have a lot of things to go over to fix, but just seeing throughout the game what we can do is a big testament and a big step for the defense.
Thank you, Quindell.
No problem. Thank y'all.
All right, guys. Obviously disappointed, hurt, mad, sad with the loss. Was not pleased with the way the game started. In any phases, we didn't start fast enough. Offense, defense, or special teams. We can't go out there and do things like that. I thought the defense really stepped it up really in the second half, and then our offense really didn't do much. We got to continue to execute, but we can't turn the ball over. We got to learn to start faster in all phases. We got to figure out a way. Obviously, we ran for over 200 yards, but we have to have that consistency throughout the third, fourth quarter when we needed it. We have to own the football and be smart with that. And defensively, we got to start faster. Special teams, we got to be smart in our return game, making sure we're not returning balls at the end zone that put us in a detrimental position. But we got a lot of work to do. There's a lot of guys in the locker room, licking their wounds because they're not happy. They're not happy, and it starts with me. I got to look myself in the mirror and see what I got to do as the head coach to better prepare our team and make sure we are putting ourselves in a successful position, the way we practice, the way we do things, and when we step on the field on game day.
Hey, Steven Johnson, go ahead.
Hey, Ryan, that slow start defensively, do you think that was kind of, was some of that expected rust, or was it just kind of something SMU was kind of just showing you guys early on?
No excuses. We're not going to use rust or anything of that nature. We've got to be able to execute, whether it's the call, the assignment, all around. We're not going to sit here and make excuses for anything. We just, we started off slow. We've seen that in back-to-back games, so we've got to figure out a way to make sure we're preparing our guys for those opening drives and making sure what we're doing, right? We got to find ways to get off the field on third down. We saw again in this game where, we had the quarterback in our grasp and allowed him to make plays and not be able to get off the field. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we've got to find a way to start a little bit faster on defense.
Terry Davis, go ahead.
How you doing, Coach?
Hey, Terry.
Hey, what do you contribute to offensive struggles in the second half to not getting the big play when you needed it, even though you got it most of the game, but when you needed to get it, you couldn't get it?
Yeah, credit to SMU. They had a good defensive game plan that stopped us. And again, that falls on me to not have a plan in place in order for us to be able to execute. We've got to find a way to be able to get things going, right? We can't go 3 and out, especially with a potent offense like them. We've got to be able to extend drives. They started low in the box. We got to win the one-on-ones, a combination of things. Obviously, we talk about just being able to sustain. And, we've got to become creative with our play packages, and we've got to execute the assignments a little bit better. But the credit goes to SMU and their defense, but we've got to do a better job as an offensive staff calling the plays and getting our guys in the right position. Again, that ultimately falls on me.
Jacob Rice, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. There were several things leading up to this game that you per se did not have control of, but how much of this game are you putting on yourself?
Anytime we lose, it's 100% on me. If we win, it's the players. And I firmly believe that this is my fault on the result. We were in it at the very end, but the preparation, right? It was different. Obviously, the 28 days off. I'm not going to use that as an excuse. We got to be able to be creative. There's teams going through a lot of different things. We're going to have another extended period before we get UCF here. And obviously it's a great SMU team, right? They're 4-0 and they get full credit for it. But ultimately I've got to do a better job of preparing, right? However we practiced, and if it means if we ever have limited practice time again, maybe think of different ways to do it. And then finding a way, right? Coming out of halftime, obviously it wasn't much. If you're a fan of offensive football, the second half wasn't a whole lot on display, in credit to our defense. But again, SMU did a great job stifling us, and but ultimately the loss falls on me, and I've got to do a better job in all 3 phases.
Thank you, Coach.
Brian Moss.
Hey, Coach, I know hindsight's always 20/20, but on the play call where Brady got pressure and fumbled, was there any thought to just run the ball down, just keep running it until, it was time to kick a field goal?
Yeah, well, where we were on the field, there was some thoughts. We thought it was a safe play, right? I can't remember exactly what yard line that was on, Brian, but we knew we were getting close to it where we need to be for Riley's leg. But we talk about owning the football, and that's ultimately what we have to do at all times, at all costs. So ball security's got to be an issue for us, right? If that ball hopefully isn't fumbled, maybe we're talking a different story here. But, we could talk about the play calling there and just say that maybe we should have just ran the ball to try to own it and be safe. But, also where we were in field goal range, I know it would have been a heck. I know Riley's a great kicker, and we've got complete faith in him. But we're trying to get a little bit more yardage.
Evan Barnes.
Brian, I know you say you don't want to give any excuses, but given the layoff and everything, can you take away some positive, at least from maybe how you guys ran the ball, how you were able to kind of contain SMU for that second half until that final drive? Is that something you guys can try to build on heading into this off week?
I believe the score, Evan, was 17-3 at the end of the first quarter. So I was proud of the way the guys responded in that second quarter, right? Their fight and their mindset to, hey, we got to dig ourselves out of a hole. Obviously, I never want to be in a hole. We played a lot of different guys on defense. I'm sure you guys saw that, a rotation. I don't know how many different guys we played at linebacker and D-line. I mean, almost the entire defensive travel squad ended up playing. And so, hopefully that bodes well later in the season. And then, offensively, we got things we got to continue to work on. It was great to have a nice rushing attack in the first half. But, again, ultimately I need to come up with some better answers in the second half to find ways to be creative so we can keep running the football.
Christian Fowler.
Coach, you said you were proud of the way that the guys battled back after falling down. What does it say about the locker room and the players that they were able to come back from a 21-point deficit and have a chance to win the game at the end?
Look, I love the men in our locker room. We believe in each other. I told them that, right, we faced adversity, and we have faced adversity like people all throughout the country, since this pandemic and other things are occurring in our society. And obviously we've had unusual circumstances over the past month for a college football team. And I said, the adversity makes us stronger. And I looked at them, each one of them, had their heads held high in the locker room. Yes, there were some tears, some broken hearts, but I told them, we still got a lot of football left, right? This one game doesn't define us. I'm proud of them for the way they battled, but we got full faith moving forward in what we need to do. Our guys, I use the mantra all in, as you know, and I firmly believe that we have a locker room of men that are all in and want to continue to get better. I told them each person needs to look in the mirror and see what we can do to get better. It starts with me.
Steven Johnson.
Ryan, you guys were able to get Jacoby back. I know he kind of gave with the big play. Well, kind of gave with the big play earlier, but overall, how was it just kind of having him back, and what kind of impact did he just have on the secondary and defense in general?
Well, Jacoby's a fantastic player and a great leader. I'm sure, as you guys saw, also he was out part of the game. He missed most of the third quarter. So, but it was good to have him back. He does a wonderful job. Look, it's a talented SMU team, and they made some big plays. We knew they had talent at wide receiver, tight end, and running back. Obviously, the defense did a nice job versus their run game, but we can't give up those big passes, right? Those short screens that go for long yardage, and the chunk plays over our heads. So, but Jacoby's one of those guys that I know, if anything, tonight he'll be watching the game film. He'll be in the office early, ready to roll, trying to improve his game.
Jacob Rice, last question.
Coach, putting this on yourself, does that help your players go into next week knowing that they played well, or is there something that you're reminding them of that they can carry themselves throughout this next week against a big UCF team?
Well, ultimately, because of our locker room, they don't sit there and point the finger at me, which I don't mind if they do. But they know that I got to do a better job. It starts with me getting better and putting them in positions. But they all know what we need to do to prepare better, to work harder, watch more film, take care of our bodies better, and have a great week of preparation. And that's the nice thing, is the resolve of our young men is there, and I wholeheartedly believe in them. And so, I don't when we get on the plane today, they know that there's things that we need to correct. Obviously, we've got a lot of film to watch, plenty of plays to be watched and learn from. And that's the thing, is our guys will be eager to watch that, to learn from it. We're going to meet with the team tomorrow afternoon and show them the good, the bad, and the ugly. And ultimately, right, any of those things that I put in a bad spot, I own up to. And I think that's one of the reasons we have a mutual respect between our players and I, is because I'll let them know, hey, I've got to do a better job. But they end up looking back and saying, Coach, we got your back, and we're going to continue to work hard, because they weren't all perfect. That's the reality of it. And we've got to, as an entire team, as a Memphis football program, find ways to continue to improve.